When Kunal invited me to speak today on outthinking, I bet he doesn't know that I eloped and married my wife at the age of 18. So clearly, Kunal is outthinking today by inviting me here. As a younger me, I took a bold and maybe a wild decision, but later in life, it kind of became a habit for me. Today, I'm here to share some of the learnings with you. So let's dive in. Sachin Tendulkar, the greatest batsman the world has ever seen, won only 43% of the ODIs he ever played. Roger Federer, he won just 54% of the points his entire career. These numbers don't scream perfection, they scream resilience. So here's the question: is greatness about never failing, or it is about showing up again and again and again, regardless of the outcome? Today, I want to help you unlock a different way of thinking, not just how to succeed when things go well, but how to stay in the game when they don't. In a world obsessed with instant wins, I want to share what it really takes to build a meaningful career or a profession or a life that you're proud of. And this isn't a theory, it's a lived experience. From walking silent paths in the Himalayas or building an AI startup in a fast paced cities, I have learned that lasting experience and success doesn't come from getting everything right. It comes from how you can outthink convention, outcreate limits, and outlast chaos. My name is Prasun Srivastava, and I'm passionate architect and equally passionate about technology to build a better future. And I believe the future belongs to those who can see patterns where others see problems and step forward where others hesitate. How many times have you just talked of something great, not because you failed, but because it got hard? I have been there. I remember the days when my company's bank balance looked zero, then 30, then 100, then 350, not crores, not millions, just numbers. So, what changed? Not the market, not luck, it was the mindset. I had to outthink my fear, my assumptions, and sometimes even my own team. And that is when the shift begins. Outthink isn't about the smart being the smartest person in the room. It's about willing to challenge your own success before the world does it for you. In 2017, I was running a thriving architectural practice. Projects were steady, team was solid, and life looked predictable. And then one day, sitting in my studio, I had this strange intrinsic thought: am I going to become irrelevant? And that voice caught me off guard because nothing was wrong. And yet I could see it. The way people designed was changing. The way construction was done was changing. The way businesses operated was changing. And here I was, comfortable, creative, successful, but in a silo. And that's when it hit me. All businesses are becoming technology businesses. It didn't matter if I was in architecture, in logistics, hospitality, or in construction. If I didn't learn to think in code, in systems, in intelligence, I would slowly fade away in the darkness. So I did something most people at that time thought was foolish. I walked away from the comfort of known craft to build something from scratch with no roadmap, no funding, no co founder, just conviction. And it was in that moment, right there in the uncertainty, that I learned what outthinking really means. It means questioning what's working. It means unlearning what got you here. It means it's being okay with the discomfort of being early because that's the price you pay for being ahead. And most importantly, it means if you don't disrupt your own thinking, someone else eventually will. If Outthink was about questioning the path, Outcreate is about daring to build a new one, even in the moments of uncertainty. The first version of my business was never a global vision. It started as a tool to solve our own construction job site problems. Too many tools that didn't talk to each other, too much fragmented approach, too much guesswork in $1 million decisions. So we started building something for ourselves. But then came pandemic. And suddenly, we weren't the only ones struggling to stay afloat. Around the world, construction sites fell silent. Not because people didn't want to work, but because the systems they relied on had no resilience, no visibility, no intelligence. That moment gave me clarity. This wasn't just a company problem. This was a global infrastructure problem. We were still trying to build the future using tools from the past. And in that chaos, I saw an opportunity, not just for myself, but for the entire industry. Because a crisis doesn't just expose weakness. A crisis doesn't just expose weakness. It reveals what must be rebuilt. And that's what Outcreate really means. It's not about building products, it's about building possibilities. It's about ability to respond to uncertainty with imagination, to look at a broken system, a paused economy, a disconnected world, and say, we will build it anyway. Because creation is just not a skill, it is a response mechanism. When everything around you feels frozen, you can wait, you can panic, or you can create. In the moments of collapse, most people look for shelter, but a few, they look for openings. We didn't start building because we had a perfect plan. We started because we couldn't sit still. Creation became the only way forward. And something I have come to believe deeply: when the world breaks, don't wait for it to be fixed. Be the one who lays the first brick. Outlast is a quiet part of the journey, the part no one celebrates, where there is no audience, no applause, just a voice in your head asking, why are you still doing this? The truth is, this journey or any journey is deeply personal and often lonely. There are days when team looks up to you for direction and you have none. There are days when the bank balance looks like a countdown. Days when you're surrounded by people but feel completely alone. That's when you need an anchor. For some, it's family. For others, it's friendship, a purpose, or a mentor. For me, it has been spirituality. I have found my grounding in stillness, in silence, in listening more than speaking, in ancient wisdom that reminds me you are not the storm, you are the one who watches it pass. When I walk in the mountains in silence or sit in solitude under the sun, I am reminded of something simple. You are not here to win quickly, you are here to last. And once you find that anchor, you stop chasing the outcomes. You start walking with conviction. Because the world doesn't need more people who start things. Because the world doesn't need people who start things. It needs people who finish them. There's a line from Rigveda that I carry with me. Charanvai Madhu Vindati. Only the one who walks finds the honey. That's what outlasting is. It's not dramatic, it's not glamorous, but it's powerful. Because in the end, success often doesn't go to the most brilliant. It goes to the one who simply refused to leave, the one who stayed, who endured, who outlasted. I remember a quote from Denzel Washington: if you hang around the barber shop long enough, sooner or later, you're going to get a haircut. In the end, it's not about outthinking, outcreating, or outlasting anyone else. It's about doing it with yourself, rethinking the assumptions you never questioned, creating when the world isn't watching, continuing where there is no finish line in sight. So, if you remember nothing else from today, just remember this: the ones who build the future are simply the ones who didn't stop. Thank you.